Alright everyone, so today we're at the Newport Bay Nature Preserve and we're going to be doing a 10.5 mile bike ride with a stop to Balboa Island.
Yep, we're actually doing a little bit different of a video this time. We're actually going to be using our bikes that we brought along, so let's go.
The 10.5 mile bike trail makes a full loop around the Newport Bay Nature Preserve. We ended up leaving the trail to head on over to Balboa Island and back, which added approximately 2 miles, making our total trek 12.5 miles. If you're not planning to stop anywhere, definitely recommend making a pit stop at the visitor center, as they do have restrooms open every day. We started this trail from the parking lot closest to the visitor center. However, you can start this trail really anywhere along the loop, as most sections of the trail do connect out to the main roads. The Newport Bay Cliffs are believed to have formed approximately 15 million years ago, based on the mammoth, bison, and giant sloth fossils found here. The area was also formerly inhabited by the Gabrielino tribe, who survived off of fishing. When Jose Sepulveda arrived in 1837, he made the bay part of his Rancho San Joaquin until James Irvine acquired the land for his Irvine Ranch in 1864. In approximately 1870, we get the first modern mention of the name Newport, when the lumber steamer, the Vaquero, landed at a small wharf near the current PCH in Newport Bay Bridge, which they called Newport Landing. In 1875, James and Robert McFadden acquired the Newport Landing and moved it to Balboa Peninsula to grow the area into a commercialized center for the hides, tallow, and hay industries, amongst others. However, the McFadden Wharf never grew into the empire the brothers saw it. Federal government allocated funds to build up the San Pedro Harbor, and I think we all know how that turned out. In 1902, William S. Collins and Henry Huntington bought the land and created the Newport Beach Company, and formally created the modern name of the city. They quickly worked to turn Newport Beach into a tourist destination. Huntington extended the red Pacific electric cars to Newport and Balboa Peninsula, driving an influx of visitors from LA. Additionally, he dredged a channel in the bay to create a small idealistic island known as Balboa Island. At the time, the only way to reach the island was actually by sailboat. Real estate developers worked to target wealthy Pasadena and LA residents to buy the new luxurious Newport Beach area. At the time, Balboa Island oceanfront plots were listed from $350 to $750. However, William Collins was so far behind on installing streets, lights, sewers, ferries, and bridges that he often sold plots for as little as $25, and a big promise to get those fixtures in soon, just to get people to buy the land. Back over in Newport Bay, a saltworks operation and a chicken feed dredging company were in full swing from 1930 to 1969. When these operations finally ceased, there was a lot of talk about what to do with the bay, as developers and environmentalists clashed. Ultimately, the environmentalists won, and in 1975, most of the Upper Bay had been set aside as a state ecological reserve and was managed by the California Department of Fish and Game. Meanwhile, Orange County acquired the remaining 140 acres of bluff land that surrounds the bay itself to establish the nature preserve in 1989. At this point in the bike trail, you're going to start going through a lot more residential neighborhoods, and there are multiple ways to go to eventually link back up with one of the entrances to the proper bike trail. We followed the option that All Trails gave us, however there's definitely a plethora of ways that you could go. This is a bit of a choose your own adventure section of the trail.
we made it back to the car. Overall, it was a good bike ride. What was the total? Like 12.5 miles?
Yeah, we did exactly 12.5 miles. That was the full loop, which is 10.5 plus about 2 miles to go to Balboa Island and back.
Yeah, everything was good overall. We went on a Sunday, so definitely a lot of people. It's probably the peak, like the weekend. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, when riding around, there's going to be a bunch of people. So obviously, be safe and all that.
This bike ride was, like Sean said, pretty easy. I would say, I mean, it's definitely family friendly. Definitely easy. We did it on e-bikes, but you could totally do this on a normal bike. It really wasn't that hard. There was only maybe, we went up like 2 hills, and they weren't that steep or high. Great views all around, and definitely great for the summer to get some nice breeze, fresh ocean air.
Don't forget to try the frozen banana. If you guys like the video and you guys like more content in regards to bike riding or bike trails around LA, feel free to drop a comment down below, like and subscribe. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys liked the video, and we'll see you guys in the next video.